40 years it had taken him to learn what kind of smile was hidden beneath the dark mustache. Oh, cruel, needless misunderstanding. Oh, stubborn, self-willed exile from the loving breast. He loved Big Brother.
This is literally 1984. So anyways, this is a pretty cool custom map that I saw, and I decided I just had to play it. And it turns out it was actually a little bit of a harder map than I thought it would be, but we'll get into it. It was quite the adventure. So this is Propaganda by Villain. He makes actually a lot of pretty cool maps, and I'm gonna eventually play a few more of them. And I just saw this in the browser, and I thought it was really cool, and I just had to play it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, before I get into talking about the map, I do want to remind you real quickly that I did make a map of my own, and I'm doing a little bit of a community challenge before, as always. So here's the map, and all of the information, if you want to play this map and submit it to the challenge, will be in the custom map showcase in my Discord server. And if you happen to win that showcase, then you will get to make me play a map of your choice. So like either your map or someone else's. So far there's been 2 people that submitted, and just because the map ended up being a little bit harder than I would have liked, I have now allowed people to use Geraldo. So yeah, you can use Geraldo, although it's still going to be the coolest submission. So it might probably be best if you can to not use Geraldo, but just because it's so hard, like it's a lot harder than I ended up wanting it to be, just for a few reasons. I would not really be that mad if you can barely beat it with Geraldo. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's a pretty cool map, and you can check it out, play it, and submit it. And so far, there's just been 2 people that finished it and submitted it in the Discord. But that's only after 1 day, so I'm gonna give you much more time. And then later I'll pick whichever run I think is the coolest, and if you win, I will play the map of your choice. So yeah, let's talk about this game though. So this was definitely quite a challenge, and I did not want to use Geraldo at all because that would just kind of be stinky. It would be very easy, just Geraldo Robo everything, or Comanche defense. But this map, it is indeed very tricky. So there's kind of like 2 sections. So I was first thinking of having like a double modular build, but there's one path that starts on the left side and ends up going around the poster and kind of comes back. So I did do one attempt with Soda, doing like a modular Soda thing, and it just didn't work out that well. I definitely could have like redone it and won if I fixed up some errors, but I decided I'm going to change things up and use Prince of Darkness, because Prince of Darkness actually looked really promising on this map, other than the fact that I kind of forgot that I was aiming to buy the Prince of Darkness for like the entirety of mid-game. I ended up getting it later on, and it did lots of work. Prince of Darkness with Alk buff and Overclock. There were a few blunders in this run. You'll see later that my bomb placement is very egregious, and that forced me out of buying the Alk buff for Gwen in the late game, which definitely made round 98 a lot harder. I ended up beating round 98 just with a ton of RNG. So yeah, that was a little bit of an issue, but other than that, I kind of had the pretty basic tack set up, and I ended up banking that I could get Moab Eliminator to do enough Moab damage to really take out the right side, which ended up working. Again, I was kind of forced to use Moab Eliminator because of round 100. Like, you're just not really beating round 100 with anything conventional for this. So I got Moab Eliminator, and that beat round 100 and helped out a lot with late game. Pod cleaned everything up. Tons of super chaotic rounds in here. Lots of micro, lots of RNG, especially with the Druids. I got that later. So yeah, that's kind of it. This was quite a crazy map. Really crazy challenge. If you're going to do this on Chimps, and you're going to do it without like the meta Spirit of the Forest, Carpet of Spikes, or just Geraldo Robos in general, or Comanche Commanders, I think choose like the meta. Like, just doing this without meta definitely is pretty hard. So if you can do that, good job. That's quite a challenge. But if not, doing this just with Jerry Robos still is fine too. It's definitely a hard map, but a really fun one at that. And it just looks really good too. So yeah, that's all. I think I'm gonna go now and enjoy some music and enjoy the rest of the run. Goodbye.